Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're in an 8-4 Shadows over Innistrad draft. Remember, Twitch streaming this weekend and Monday. You can find the link to follow me in the video description. Please like and subscribe this video, or subscribe to the channel, like the video, you get it. You know what I'm saying. Alright, Call the Bloodline, I guess probably the pick here. We also have Fiery Temper. Call the Bloodline kind of leads you down a singular path. I don't really like Anguished Unmaking very much. Losing 3 life is a big payment. Could take the Kindly Stranger. I do like Kindly Stranger. It's also a Reckless Scholar. And there's a Rabid Bite. And there's a Fiery Temper. Fiery Temper's pretty solid. I'd probably just take the Call of Bloodline. Big fan of the card. Ooh, Obsessive Skinner. Obsessive Skinner is very strong. It actually works kind of well. I actually like Green-Black Delirium a lot, too. There's also Uvenwald Mysteries. I think I like the Skinner more. It's kind of a win con on its own sort of deal. So, I think we're going to take the Skinner. Yeah. Like I said, I'd like the Mysteries, too, but we're going to take Skinner. Well, Groundskeeper is a cool card. There's Dauntless Cathar in here, which might actually just be the pick. There's also Hinterland Logger, which I like a lot. And there's Twins of Mauer Estate. So, Cathar might just be the best pick in here. Could just take the Logger, like I said. Logger is very good. Cathar's certainly better. Both of these cards are good. This is kind of tough. Cathar is certainly better than Logger, I think. Logger has some good synergies with stuff. I'm going to take the Cathar. I think it's... Ooh, Hermit's a nice pickup. It's also Tenacity. I think I like the Hermit more. And there's a Quilled Wolf in here. So some pretty good cards in general, but... Hermit's nice. Making your opponent play spells during their turn, or basically punish themselves, is kind of big. And I do like Tenacity. I think it's a good card. But I think Hermit is a real annoyance to play against, actually. There's just certain cards that really get hurt a lot when you have a Hermit out. Okay, 5th pick Drifter might be a sign that we can make this sort of green-white thing work. Green-white humans currently, but green-white Delirium it looks like, which is a fine archetype actually. There are cards that can make this work quite well actually. Seems like a good time to pick up the Vessel. We already have Skinner and Drifter, and even putting a Cathar in the graveyard is beneficial, so Vessel looks like it's right at home in this deck. One of the better Delirium enablers. Apparatus is a pretty good one too, but I like the Vessel more. Okay, Drifter number 2, I say yes. There's Epitaph Golem, in case I was worried about milling myself out, but I'm kind of on board with the Drifter here. I like it. Nice 2-drop. Can get evasive. So we've got Provisioner versus Thornhide Wolves. There's a decent chance we end up with enough humans to really ideally capitalize on this Provisioner. So I guess we can take it here over a Thornhide Wolves. Alright, so Moldgraph Scavenger, probably just the pick. Now we're kind of just working towards a green-white Delirium deck, which, like I said, I think is a fine archetype. I'm not sure if I've played it in a draft video before. I may have. But now, we just have a lot of incentive to go Delirium, right? Skinner, Double Drifter, Scavenger. Alright, Apparatus is now just looking like a very playable card in here. A late stitched Mangler, but blue has just sort of become an unpopular color. So Stoic Builder lets us get lands back from our graveyard. Groundskeeper also does that. Groundskeeper also uncommon, so a little bit more unusual. They both are pretty similar in function, aren't they? I think we're actually going to go Groundskeeper because you can keep doing it. Okay. I don't really care about any of these cards. Of all these, I guess I'd like to face the Hulking Devil the least. Okay. Guess we can take a Gone Missing. Cut the green card. Guess it's a green card that lets us splash as well, but... Ooh, Westvale Abbey. That's a nice pickup. It's worth a bunch of tickets, and it's a great win con. So we're going to take that. There's another Drifter in here. There's Griff's Boon, which would actually be good for this deck as well. Working towards Delirium, and it can come back. But, and there's Solitary Hunter, and there's Watcher in the Web, and there's Inquisitor's Ox. A lot of playables in here. Just going to take the awesome rare land that just gets to make the cut automatically. Splash Aristocrat, splash Call the Bloodline. I don't think so. Although, no, there's Graph Mole in here, there's Wicker Witch. So currently we only have one Investigate card, which makes the Graph Mole less attractive. But Graph Mole is certainly leagues better than Wicker Witch. So it's kind of feeling like I should take the Graph Mole here. Unfortunate that there's a lot of awesome... This would be... Can you imagine getting this in a sealed pool? Fiery Temper, Incorrigible Use, Aristocrat, Era Falconwrath would just be absolutely insane for a vampire sealed pool. But I think we'll take the Graph Mole, I guess. We still have a chance to get some clue cards in white and green. And it blocks well. Wicker Witch tends to go later anyway, I think. Alright, I could take the Survive the Night here. Not a very exciting pick, but it's playable. There is Shard of Broken Glass. I think this tends to wheel or at least go late. But Shard of Broken Glass is certainly playable in here now with all the Delirium cards. But I want to Survive the Night, get a little more Graph Mole value. And it's a combat trick, which, considering how light on removal we are, I think it could be useful. So now there's Gossip Monger and Vessel of Ephemera. Both of those cards I like a lot. Vessel is really nice for Delirium. Gossip Monger is just a good beater. I kind of want to take the Vessel. I kind of feel like we want to work towards that Delirium and get some flyers while we're at it. So I think I'm going to take the Vessel over the Gossip Monger, but I really do like the Gossip Monger a lot too. It's proven itself to be a good card in the format. I mean, maybe it's better for this deck because we actually look like we beat down fairly effectively. And you know how I feel about low curve decks. They're very good. Well, I'm actually going to go Gossip Monger. I really do like the Vessel, and I think it works towards Delirium well, but Gossip Monger tends to really dish that damage out. Jeez, there's like nothing here. Could take the Ethereal Guidance. It's a sorcery if we're trying to beat down. Otherwise, I'm hating a Call the Bloodline for whoever got that Indulgent Aristocrat. Ethereal Guidance is good. Not insane, but considering how good our curve looks at the moment, I'm kind of starting to feel on board with it. Not Forgotten is whatever, too. Game Trail lets us splash red, maybe? Yeah, you know what? There's a chance we splash red. Ethereal Guidance, whatever, is pretty much whatever. Okay, so now there's Inquisitor's Ox, which blocks the world, but we're looking a little more beatdownish. Could just take the Shard of Broken Glass now. I guess that's fine. Don't have enough gasoline for this Cult of the Waxing Moon, I don't think. Alright, I guess we'll take the Shard over the Ox. Okay, Loam Dryad, another way to fix, but it's whatever. Open the Armory maybe is the pick. Not that we have anything, because we don't. I guess Shard of Broken Glass, but if we find something in pack 3, like a Bound... Like, I'm not giving up anything for it. I don't care about Loam Dryad enough. So let's just take the Open the Armory. Okay, I guess we can take Stoic Builder now. This deck definitely wants... Inquisitor's Ox, Warp Landscape. Warp Landscape feeds Delirium, so maybe I just take that. I guess it's... No, it doesn't work with Groundskeeper. It does work with Stoic Builder, though, right? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I guess I'd prefer to run a deck that wasn't... Or play a deck that wasn't running Inquisitor's Ox. I could theoretically splash the Call to Bloodline, I guess, at this point. I can take Expose Evil here over Wolves. I kind of like keeping our curve low and get away with a 16-land deck. Expose Evil also, I guess, works with Graph Mole to a certain extent, but it puts an instant in your graveyard. It lets you bash in with your cheaper guys. All right, we'll take a Root out for a sideboard. There's certainly some things you want to be able to take care of. I'm not going to play Equestrian Skill, so I guess we'll just hate an Accomplice, which can be an annoyance. Gonna take a second Root out just in case. If we play against like a Slayer's Plate, I think we're actually gonna let someone have Rotten Heart Ghoul. Just to show that, hey, go ahead and take black cards. So our pool looks okay. I think our pack 1 went better than our pack 2 for sure. Hopefully our pack 3 goes well here. So we can take the Hunter, we can take the Rabid Bite. What's our removal as well as sorcery count? Our removal is very low. So low, in fact, we have none, so I might just want the Rabid Bite. I do want the Hunter as well, and I like Confront, but I'm going to take the Rabid Bite. We don't have any... No, we do have sorceries. Just one, I guess. And we're not even guaranteed to play it, so I think we just take the Rabid Bite. Get the removal. Hopefully find a True Faith Sensor at some point. Alright, another crack at Vessel of Ephemera. Also a Quilled Wolf in here, which is really good. I really like Quilled Wolf a lot. How diverse are we looking? We've got Enchantment, Artifact, Artifact that mills, Instant, Sorcery, Instant. We're looking okay. I could take the Vessel. I kind of want this Quilled Wolf. Problem with Vessel in an aggressive deck, like kind of like what we are, is that you end up investing mana into it where you'd like to be doing something else, you know? Whereas Quilled Wolf just comes down, it fights, it can, you know, attack right away, gets benefit from combat tricks. I'm going to take the Wolf here. Wolf has an added bonus of just being insane in the late game, in the late and early game. Just excellent early to trade, or fantastic late to just kill your opponent because it's a 6/6. All right, probably want the aim high. Ethereal Guidance might actually be okay here too, now that I think about it. We need some more creatures. There is a Militant Inquisitor, I guess, but passing some Rivesman Tides, which seems a bit worrisome. Aim High feels more playable than Ethereal Guidance, but they're both fine. Aim High is an actual combat trick, whereas Ethereal Guidance like a finish your opponent off. I think I'd rather have a combat trick. We're just low enough on removal where that seems better. Well, Uvenwald Mysteries is a nice pickup. Paranoid Perishblade, more Delirium fodder, but I kind of like the Uvenwald Mysteries, especially with the Graph Mole. It just sort of makes sense. Not that our deck really is going for a life gain plan, but oh man, Howlpacker and Moonlight Hunt, these are always in the same pack together. Yeah, we don't have nearly enough wolves or werewolves to make this work. I think we only have like 3. So I got to pass and Always Watching, which is worrisome. So I'm going to take the Quilled Wolf here. Does keep our curve low, which is nice, but we're not doing terrible. Here's a True Face. This is like exactly what our deck needed, since we actually have a fair amount of humans. We can find it with Open the Armory. I'm not exactly sure it's worth it yet, but Crawling Sensation is actually fine for this deck too with Groundskeeper. You can get the land back. I'm not sure I want Crawling Sensation though. I think I'd rather just have the True Faith Sensor. Harvest Hand, Hope Against Hope. I don't really like Harvest Hand all that much, but it is an artifact creature. Well, it doesn't go to your graveyard though, that's the problem, so it's not great for... I think Humble the Brood's probably better for Sealed. Might be a fine sideboard card. There is Hope Against Hope, but I don't really like auras. Could take the Ox. I mean, we're going to need more creatures. Otherwise, I'm taking Stoic Builder, get another human. It's okay. I'm actually going to take the Harvest Hand. I don't really like the card all that much, but... Alright, well, that's a late Purge pickup. That's kind of exactly what our deck was looking for. Okay, Ethereal Guidance. Well, seems like no one's in Rise from the Tides, but you never know. Alright, take the Guidance here. Alright, we'll take the Thornhide Wolves. They're certainly playable. All the Guidance. I need some guidance. Alright, Might Beyond Reason is an actual combat trick we might consider. So, I think we ended up with enough creatures too. This deck looks fine. Yeah, we definitely got enough creatures now. Okay. This deck looks fine. I don't have any, major gripes or issues with it, per se, but, packs 2 and 3, they were like a bit underwhelming. Not like horrible, but they could have been better. Good news is we're not super color intensive, but we're still playing Warp Landscape because I just want to be able to put lands in my graveyard. And we do have to actually make some cuts here as well. So let's figure that out. It probably should not be more than one creature. I don't actually think we're going to do Open the Armory. It's cool to find True Faith Sensor and Shard of Broken Glass, but whatever. I'm not even sure if Shard's going to make the deck. It can, though. We have instants, sorceries. We probably don't need Shard of Broken Glass, now that I think about it. So then we just have to make 4 more cuts. Harvest Hand seems like the worst card in our deck, but actually it might be the Stoic Builder. Stoic Builder is better with the True Faith Sensor. It also has synergy with the Harvest Hand. But Harvest Hand does not go to the yard, like I said, for Delirium, which is an actual thing, you know, worth trying to work towards here. So maybe the Harvest Hand does get the boot. How many humans do we have? 1? Actually, I don't need a Groundskeeper. What am I playing Groundskeeper in here for? I don't have, like, renewable synergy with it. It works fine with Angelic Purge, fine with Vessel. I don't have something that, like, goes infinite with it, though, which I think makes it worse. So I don't really want to cut any more creatures. And I still have to make 3 more cuts. So at least 1 Ethereal Guidance can get the boot. Playing 16 lands with Warp Landscape in Westvale Abbey, is that going to be a problem? I hope not. Considering how, like I said, how little, you know, white and black, like, colored spells we have, I'm not super worried about it. I can just cut the Ethereal Guidance completely. It's not great. It's playable at best. Kind of abysmal at worst. It's okay. I mean, we are beat down, which I guess is where it would shine. I can play it over Survive the Night, but I kind of wanted more Graph Mole synergies. But Survive the Night is pretty much whatever. I don't even know if I like Survive the Night or Expose Evil more. I kind of want to keep this Might Beyond Reason, though. Feel like it's... We kind of want to keep all of our combat tricks. I could cut the Expose Evil for that reason, because it's not a combat trick. But it does let you push damage through, which I think is good. I kind of want to keep the Apparatus as well, since we're Removal Light and it works for Delirium. Yeah, this is a bit tricky. I probably cut the Guidance. I've been underwhelmed enough where I'm okay with that. And then I probably cut the Expose Evil. Still leaves me with Rabid Bite, Aim Hive, True Faith Sensor, Survive the Night, Purge, Might Beyond Reason. Yeah, that's enough combat tricks. I guess we don't need the Guidance in the Expose Evil, even though I think they'd both be fine in here. So let's bring in the Abbey and the Landscape. Sort by color. So Militant Inquisitor is pretty underwhelming too, but I want to keep all of my creatures I've got. I don't think this deck's insane. I think it's going to end up fine, probably. I think we'd probably do 7-7. Because we only need one of each. And we need them both relatively early, too. Obviously need green a little bit more early, but... Alright, yeah, I don't think this deck is particularly insane. I think it's going to end up okay. I guess Inquisitor works with Harvest Hand if it flips and we have the True Faith Sensor. But yeah, I can't rate this deck super high. I'd probably give it a low C. We'll give it like a 74%. It's got a couple bomb things it can do. Some cool stuff. A little bit of a very low curve, which is where it's going to get most of its marks. But something power-wise definitely seems lacking. Probably in the removal department mostly. But hey, we'll see how it plays. I've won with crazier things. I've lost with crazier things too. All right. We'll see you round one.